everyone, EnigmaCoinCollector here, and I've got a little bit of a different type of video for you today. Recently I got these 2 rolls of nickels on eBay, and they're not just any old rolls of nickels. These are rolls of dateless buffalo nickels. If you don't know what that means, buffalo nickels have a date that's on a raised part of the coin, so oftentimes when you find them, the date is worn off. Now, what value do they have? Not really a lot in their current state, but what we're going to do with them is we're going to take some of this Nic-A-Date, which you can use to actually remove some of the material on the coin and get the raised date to come back up and see if we have any semi-key dates or key dates or varieties, and hopefully fill some holes in my book. I don't have a ton of buffalo nickels in my book, and I'm hoping that we'll get some finds from this. Granted, they will have Nic-A-Date on them. They're not going to be worth quite as much, but it still would be nice to have some placeholders. Plus, I thought it would be kind of fun to do this and see what you guys think about the type of video this is. So we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and open these rolls first and see what we have, and I'm probably going to show you how many mint marks we have. I'm assuming a lot of these are just going to be no mint mark or Philadelphia mint buffalo nickels, but I'm hopeful that we'll have some D and S's because that's usually where the varieties and the semi-key dates lie. So we'll see what we got, and I'll probably do these in batches of 10. I can put them up here. I've got some paper towels and some water to be safe while I use the acid, and hopefully we find something cool. So enough talk, let's get into these rolls and see what we have. All right, I went ahead and sorted them into groups of 10, and I checked for obvious mint marks. I did use a loop to check on a few questionable ones, and as far as I can tell, I can only find 3 mint mark buffaloes in those 80 nickels. And they are right here, here, and here. I believe this one is an S, and these 2 are Ds. I'll show you real quick. I believe that is an S. It's very faint. You can see it under the loop. And I'll probably end up Nic-A-Dating those. Well, maybe not. The S for sure, but I'm 95% sure that's a D, as well as this one. I think this one's pretty obvious. Yeah, won't need to Nic-A-Date those. There are a couple that are really slick. I think this one, super slick, so we might as well just Nic-A-Date the back and see if there's a mint mark there as well, because there's no way you're going to be able to see that without that. So what I think we're going to do is we're just going to take all these off to the side, and we'll bring in roll 1, the first 10 in, and we'll do the Nic-A-Date, and we'll see what we find. Wish us luck. Here we go. All right, I think we got dates on just about all of them, so let's start checking them out. This one is going to be pretty weak, but I think you can see in 1918. So we got a 1918. And this one looks like it's another 1918. I'll try to get you a better view. 1918, number 2. And this one looks to be a 1916. We'll have to check for the double die, although it's pretty obvious, and with Nic-A-Date, it might be hard to see. We will check that. Cool, so a lot of teens right out of the gate. Here's a 1917, and Most of these are probably going to be teens because they're worn, and the older they are, the more worn they get. And I'm pretty sure these all don't have mint marks. I will check. Here's another 1918. So 3 of the 18s already. I think that's going to be a 1919. Yep, 1919. And these are all Philly marks. I will check again. This one didn't quite get a date, but I'm pretty sure that's another 1919. Yeah, I can see the second 9. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to look at the camera and the coin at the same time. I'm going to call that a 1919. Man, that one is tough. It's either a 16 or a 15. Or another 19. I'm going to call it another 19 for now, but I'll set this aside up top. It's another 1919. And I believe that's 16, another 1916. Cool. So that's the first batch done. I'm going to check again for mint marks and use the loop just to verify those dates are correct, and then we'll move on to the second group of roll 1. All right, batch number 2 is done. Let's see what we have. Another 1916, it looks like. Put those up there. Well, that's hard to make out. I'm going to go with 1919. Definitely another 1916. That date came up real nice. Another 1919. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it, but I don't see it coming through on the camera. Another 16. Definitely see that one. Another 16. $19, so it's 16s and 19s on this one so far. Oh, there's a 17. And another 17. And I'm not holding up much hope for this one. There might be something there. This one might be a candidate for a second round of treatment. Don't see anything. Let me take a look under my loop. See it under the loop? I don't even know if it needed Nic-A-Date. I don't think the Nic-A-Date did very much, but it is a 1926 Philly. It is not a semi-key-date 26S. And even in that shape, it would be worth not a ton, but we'll put it up there. I'll check these again, and we'll go on to the stack number 3. right, we've got the third stack of 10 done. This one kind of got a little bit away from me, so I know some of you are going to leave a comment that I did a bad job Nic-A-Dating this one, and you're right, I did. That one got away from me, but let's go through these. So we have, looks like another 1919. Or I don't think we've had a 1919 yet. That's cool. This looks to be like a 1914. Put these up here. So these are pretty old. That one at least was. Another 1914 that I let the Nic-A-Date go into the Indian head there, so that's unfortunate. And we've got another 19, sorry, let me get that there. 1918. This is also a 1918. Here's a 1925, so we've got a 20s buffalo. Another 1918. $19.19. Another 1925. And this one I thought had a mint mark, so I Nic-A-Dated this side first. And it does not appear to have one. I'll check, but we'll Nic-A-Date the other side now and see what date we have. So I went ahead and Nic-A-Dated that nickel that I did the mint mark on the back, and a couple things. First of all, it's a 1915. And second of all, when I double check the back, I actually think I see a mint mark. I actually Nic-A-Dated this a second time. Let me see if I can get this to come up on the camera. I think you can see the S. Right there. Okay, so the computer microscope really doesn't do it justice. I think the best shot I have of it is just with the camera with the light on. And I think that's an S mint mark. If this is a 1915 S, that is a semi-key date. Right there, 1.5 million of these minted. It's a shame that it has to have Nic-A-Date on it. That's really going to tank the value. But still, finding a semi-key date nickel in the roll is pretty exciting. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is a 1915S. I think it is, but I'm just an amateur coin roll hunter. Let me know what your thoughts are. But that is really exciting. That is going up here. Time to bring in stack number 4 and see what's in there. And that stack does have a definite mint mark in it. Okay, so I did something that I know I really shouldn't do, and that is that I Nic-A-Dated it twice. I wanted to make sure, and I think I'm really glad I did. Here's that buffalo nickel with the S mint mark that I Nic-A-Dated. You can see right there, S. That is for sure an S mint mark. When I went and did the other side a second time, I'm gonna have to tilt it to get the light right. Come on. Can you see it? That's not a 1915. That's a 1913 S key date buffalo nickel. I'll try to point it out. Right here, you can see the 3. 1913. That would be the key date nickel for buffaloes. It's better with the angle. I'm trying my best here. I do not want to Nic-A-Date it anymore. But that would be a key date buffalo nickel in the box. to show it to you in this light. You can see it in this light now. 1913 S. Variety 2. Key date. Buffalo nickel. Wow. Now, going by what the Red Book has, in G4, which this is not anymore, it's Nic-A-Dated. 1913 S, Variety 2. It does not have that type of mounting for the 5 cents, but in G4, $250. Not worth that. Not worth that. I believe I've heard RobFindsTreasure say Nic-A-Date is 10 to 15% of the nickel. So this might be a $25 to $35 nickel. But still, it is going to go in my book. I found it, and I'm keeping it forever. This is a really, really sweet find. Row number 4 is done. We've got another 1919 to add. Here's a 1917. A lot of teens. 1918. 1919. 1916 to add. Another 1916. A 1919. $1916. It's a 1917. And this one has the mint mark. I can see it in the reflection. I believe that's going to be a 1920 something, and that's a Denver mint mark. Let me look under the scope. It might be a 1929. Let me get my scope out and let me confirm that. All right, I am pretty certain I can see a 9 there. You can see in the right light, you can see the circle, the top of the 9, and the hook down. 1929 Denver, 8.3 million minted, not a semi or key date, but still cool on the harder to find side of things. And that's definitely going to fill a hole in my collection. Right, let's move on to roll 2 and see what we have. right, let's see what we have. This looks to be like a 1914. That one might need a second round of treatment. I don't really see a date on it. We'll set that aside. 1926. Right there. I'll have to check this one out too. I can't really make out the date. Maybe a 1924. This one was really slick, but the date did come up. 1917. And here's another 1916. Nice date on that one. $1917. $1924. It's another 1918. And I think that's a 1919. Let me check into the loop again, but let me work on a few of these and I'll get back to you. Well, I went ahead and applied another coat of Nic-A-Date, last ditch effort, and this one did get a date to pop up. I don't know if you can see it. It's very faint, but I think this is another 1913. No mint mark though, so it's just a filly, unlike that other one. But I believe that is a 1913. We'll call it that. And this one, I'm not sure. Maybe a 1921. I definitely think I see a 2 as the third digit. I know it's 192, but it's hard to tell. I'll call it a 1921 for now. All right, second group of 10 from roll number 2. All right, let's see what we have here in the second batch from roll number 2. That is most definitely a 1917. I think that's a 1918, but I'll have to check it. It's a really worn one. And I believe that's a 1919, but I'm going to check it just to make sure. This roll has a little bit more worn coins. 1920 something there. There we go. There's a nice date. 1919. It's going to be hard to get a date on that one, too. Same thing with this one. Looks like a metal detecting find. There we go. There's a 1918. This one looks like the whole thing might have been stuck in Nic-A-Date. I'll have to look at that under the scope. And another 1919. All right, let me verify some of these and get back to you. Well, I got two more dates for you, I believe. I think this one, I don't know if you can see it, but under the scope, it looks like a 1919. So we'll go ahead and add that. And then this one is really tough, but I think I can just barely make out a 1923. The others, I can't get anything, and they're honestly so slick and damaged that I think they're just going to remain dateless. So a little rough in this roll, in this stack. We're going to move on to the third set from roll 2 and see if we can get anything else. Third set of roll 2. Let's see what we got. This one is going to be a 23. 1923. I believe that one goes there. And next up, another 1919. Another 23. $19.17. 1919. $19.18. I'll double check with my loop, but that is either a 13 or an 18. 1913 or 1918. This one's tough. I want to say a 1920 something. I'll check that one later. Hey, there's a 1914 here. 1914 is cool. The last one, this is a 1915. Nice. Let me check these. I'll be right back. All right, we've got dates now. I was getting excited because this one is another 1913. Hopefully you can make that out. Did the back, no mint mark, so just a 1913 Philly. This one is a 1915. Also did the back because it could be a semi-key date, but alas, not happening. And then this one is a 1923. And again, I did the back. Nothing there. So, on to our last group of 10. And this one does have, for sure, a mint mark, a Denver mint mark Buffalo nickel. Maybe we'll get lucky and get a semi-key date. right, the last set of 10. Let's see what we have. It's a very nice date. 1920. First one. It's like another 1916. Another 1917. 1914. For sure. 1918. There it is in that light. I can see it. 1919. Another 1919. This is a 1916. $1914. And this one has the Denver mint mark. And it's going to be a 1915 Denver. Not a semi-key date. 1915 Denver. Had it been an S, it would have been a semi-key date. But still, mint marks are nice to have on Buffalo nickels. I will keep it. And that is it. Unfortunately, we're out of Buffalo nickels to Nic-A-Date. So let me go through, triple check for mint marks on the backs of these, and we'll give you a recap and talk about how we did. And we're all done. We're all sorted out. So out of 80 Buffalo nickels, we had 4 that we just couldn't pull a date from. We had 2 from 1913. We had, I'm going to say roughly 6 or 7 14s, 2 15s, a good bit of 16s, 17s, 18s, a ton of 19s, at least 20. 120 and 21. 3, there are no 22s because they didn't make any. 3 23s, 24, 2 25s, 2 26s, and then I believe these are, this is a 27, and this one is a 29. The absolute for sure find of all of these, the key date Buffalo nickel, if I can pick it up. I still cannot believe. I am really certain that that's what it is. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. I'm calling that a 1913 S. You saw the pictures earlier in the video. 1913 S. Variety 2 key date Buffalo nickel. Insane. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you're one of the 80% of viewers that haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it. Help me get more visible on YouTube. I'd also appreciate a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and remember, it's always a mystery until you crack open the rolls. Nic-A-Date, and see what's inside. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you on the next one.